Welcome back my YouTube channel Old Coins E-Collection. Today, we dive deep into the fascinating history and hidden value of this coin 1960 Lincoln Memorial 1-cent coin from the United States. This small copper coin carries a legacy far bigger than its face value, and some rare varieties are now worth a fortune to collectors. The Lincoln cent was first introduced in 1909 to commemorate the 100th birthday of Abraham Lincoln. It was the first U.S. coin to feature a real person, which marked a huge departure from the traditional designs. Sculptor Victor David Brenner created the design, and his initials VDB became famous on the 1909 issues WY 1959. The design of the reverse changed from the wheat ears to the Lincoln Memorial to celebrate the 150th anniversary of Lincoln's birth. This change marked the start of the Lincoln Memorial cent era, which ran from 1959 to 2008. The obverse still featured Lincoln's bust, but the new reverse depicted the Lincoln Memorial in Washington, D.C. The year 1960 is especially interesting for coin collectors because it brought not just a standard issue, but a well-known variety that sparked attention in the numismatic world. That year, the U.S. Mint released coins with two noticeable date variations, the 1960 small date and the 1960 large date. The difference between the small date and large date cents lies in the size and style of the numerals in the date, especially the 0 in 1960. On the small date variety, the 0 appears smaller and higher than in the large date version. To the average person, it might be a subtle difference, but to collectors, it means everything. These variations were struck at both the Philadelphia and Denver mints. Coins from Philadelphia bear no mint mark, while those from Denver have a small d under the date. The small date and large date varieties exist for both mints, leading to four key versions: small date, Philadelphia; large date, Philadelphia; small date, Denver; and large date, Denver. What makes the 1960 Lincoln cent even more appealing is the fact that certain minting errors and rare combinations, such as small date over large date, have been discovered. These transitional or repunched die errors are what often lead to high values in the collector's market point. One of the most famous and valuable examples is the 1960 D small date over large date, a coin that shows signs of both varieties due to a die being repunched. This kind of error is a dream find for collectors because it combines rarity with historical significance. Due to the large quantities produced in 1960, most Lincoln cent from that year are still only worth face value or slightly more. But it is the rare small date over large date error varieties and high-grade uncirculated coins, especially those with full red luster, that can command massive prices. Now let's talk value. In 2019, a rare 1960 D small date cent in pristine condition, graded MS 67 plus red by PCGS, sold at auction for an astonishing $1.8 million. This wasn't just because it was rare, it was also nearly perfect in quality, with brilliant color and exceptional detail. It became one of the most valuable pennies ever sold. For most 1960 Lincoln cents, circulated coins are worth between 2 to 50 cents, depending on condition and variety. Uncirculated examples can fetch between $1 to $50. But if you happen to find a small date variety, especially from the Denver Mint, check it carefully for any doubling or unusual date shapes. Coin grading plays a huge role in determining value. A coin in mint state condition, especially one certified by PCGS or NGC, will always be worth more. Even if you don't own $1 million piece, having a sharp eye and checking rolls of pennies can reveal valuable coins hiding in plain sight. How do you tell if you have a valuable 1960 penny? First, identify the mint mark and look closely at the style of the date. Compare it to known images of small and large date varieties. Use a magnifying glass or jeweler's loupe for accuracy. If you suspect you've found something rare, it's always wise to have it authenticated by a grading service. The Lincoln Memorial Cent series offers a great starting point for new collectors. It's affordable, educational, and full of surprises like this coin, 1 cent 1960 Lincoln Memorial United States coin history. This coin 1959D Lincoln Memorial 1 cent coin. This coin marks a significant moment in U.S. coinage and carries a rich story behind its design, production, and its unexpected connection to a multi-million-dollar collector's item. The 1959 Lincoln cent represents the first major design change to the U.S. 1 cent piece in 50 years. Prior to 1959, the reverse side of the penny featured the iconic wheat ears design, often called the wheat cent. That design had been in use since 1909 to honor the 100th birthday of Abraham Lincoln, the 16th President of the United States. When 1959 arrived, it marked the 150th anniversary of Lincoln's birth. To commemorate this, the U.S. Mint decided to update the coin's reverse design. The wheat ears were replaced with the Lincoln Memorial, a neoclassical monument located in Washington, D.C., that had been dedicated to Lincoln in 1922. This change gave the coin a modern, patriotic look while still honoring Lincoln's legacy. The obverse, or front, of the coin remained the same, featuring Victor David Brenner's famous profile portrait of Lincoln. This design is notable not only for its longevity, but also for being the first U.S. coin to feature a real person. Lincoln's face had graced the cent since 1909 and continues to appear on the penny today. The reverse design of the new 1959 cent was created by Frank Gasparo, who would later become the chief engraver of the U.S. Mint. The design shows the Lincoln Memorial in impressive detail. If you look closely at some versions, especially under magnification, you can even spot a tiny representation of Lincoln seated inside the memorial, matching the actual statue in Washington. The D mint mark under the date indicates that this particular coin was minted in Denver. The Denver Mint produced a massive number of these coins, over 1.2 billion of them in 1959 alone. That means that, in general, the 1959 D Lincoln Memorial cent is not rare in typical circulated condition. The coin is made from a composition of 95% copper and 5% tin and zinc, giving it the familiar reddish-brown color that pennies are known for. It weighs 3.11 grams and has a diameter of 19 millimeters. These specifications remained standard for U.S. cents until 1982, when the composition was changed to mostly zinc. Even though the coin is quite common, collectors often look for specific varieties or errors. Some examples of the 1959 D penny show doubling in the lettering or the date, which can raise their value. Other rare varieties include coins struck off-center or with die cracks. These minting errors can make a big difference for those seeking unique additions to their collections. Now let's talk about value. In average circulated condition, a 1959 D Lincoln Memorial cent is typically worth just 1 cent, its face value. Even in uncirculated condition, most examples are valued at around 10 to 50 cents, depending on their condition and luster. However, specially graded and preserved versions, especially those with mint errors, can be worth a few dollars up to a few hundred in rare cases. One of the most astonishing stories related to this coin involved the 1959 D Lincoln cent with a wheat reverse. Yes, you heard that right. A coin dated 1959, but with the reverse design from 1958. This error is believed to have been a test strike or pattern that was never meant for circulation. Only one such coin is known to exist, and it's sold for a reported $1.4 million to a private collector. It remains one of the most mysterious and valuable Lincoln cents in U.S. history. This $1.4 million coin is not a standard 1959 D Memorial cent. Instead, it is a one-of-a-kind minting error or possibly an experimental strike. Its incredible value lies in its extreme rarity and the controversy surrounding its authenticity when it first surfaced. Eventually, it was authenticated by third-party grading services, cementing its place as a legendary coin. For regular collectors, finding a 1959 D Lincoln Memorial penny in pristine condition can still be satisfying. Especially when stored properly and kept in high-grade condition, It makes a great foundational piece in any Lincoln Cent collection. It also represents the beginning of the Memorial Reverse series, which lasted until 2008. AS with any collectible. Condition is key. Coins are graded on a scale from 1 to 70 using the Sheldon grading scale. A 1959 D Lincoln Cent in mint state 65 or higher with full red color, meaning it has not turned brown over time, is worth significantly more than a worn, circulated version. Collectors often send their best examples to professional grading services like PCGS or NGC. It's also important to be cautious about fakes and altered coins. Because of the fame of the $1.4 million wheatback version, some individuals have tried to alter regular coins by replacing the reverse or restamping them. Always verify rare coins through certified grading and authentication before buying or selling. Aside from its collectible appeal, the 1959 D penny is an interesting piece of American history. It represents a change in design philosophy at the mint and is a reflection of how the U.S. chose to honor one of its most respected presidents. It also symbolizes the transition from a more classic design to a modern era of coinage. Over the decades, billions of Lincoln Memorial cents have been struck, and although the 1959 D version is not rare, it holds a unique place as the first of its kind. For anyone starting a Lincoln Cent collection, it's an essential starting point and a great way to understand the evolution of American coins whether you're a casual coin hunter, a seasoned numismatist, or someone fascinated by rare finds like the $1.4 million penny. The story of this coin, 1 cent 1959 D Lincoln Memorial United States coin history.